you know, telling the truth. Like, you can't say, you know, RV Bay publication cards, and then say that their card's not legit, but then the concept that the individual who says that they're legit has is that a Moor could be a U.S. national. A U.S. national, not a Moor, is a U.S. national. And people are going with that? Like, that's legitimate? You tell me that that's not part of the sellout? They're not even being secret about it. Tell me openly. You're a U.S. national if you're a Moorish American. And you're riding with that? Crazy. Playing yourself. Because this is birthright. This is not some club that you're joining. This is not some association or whatever that you're joining. This is birthrights. This is birthrights. This is not joining up to something. As soon as you start getting into joining things mentality, that's why there's confusion. That's why things aren't making sense or whatever, because you're focusing on the wrong Moors. The reason why stuff is messed up in people's head with regard to Moors is because they're watching the wrong Moors. Or they're going to Negro black colored people to ask them about Moors. And they're going to go watch Negro black colored people's videos about Moors. But they're not just going to go check Moors who are vibrating on a certain frequency. Because this is energy first. This is divine first. This is you meet my aura before you meet me. The body. You meet the energy first. And again, it's down to the Moors that's doing their work on both spheres. Because you can't be national without divine. You can't be divine without national. You know, because we need the two pillars. Can't be anything else. You know, can't be anything else. Brother Kosi, testimonial. Peace and greetings, dear Moorish brothers and sisters. I wanted to share another testimony that I find memorable, and a treasure to my heart. For the past weeks, I've been engaging in contact with my employer's HR department over the matter of taxes because I felt it was time to stand on my square regarding my property. I approached the matter calmly and expressed I would like to terminate the W-4 and Social Security contracts. Now keep in mind, when I filled out the paperwork, it was in the straw man name because I had not received my lawful documents to prove I am who I am. However, I placed reserve rights on the record to protect myself. Moving forward, a few weeks have gone since I drafted a writ affidavit of foreign exempt status and a lieu in form of W-4. Affidavit of foreign exempt status and a lieu in form of W-4. These documents were created because it was the proper way at that particular moment for me to use, and it was also resourceful as well, so I was more than confident to handle the situation. Once they received my forms, I had called to get an update over the matter. The HR agent decided to email me some BS from some guy's letter claiming to give advice about tax law and statements claiming the IRS required them to continue the thieving act of taking my earned property because the IRS told them so. Now, Moors, I was not pleased, but I kept my composure because I already knew that my documents had supported my claim to be non-obligated. The agent then attempted to explain that it's federal law and that the IRS did not recognize the Moorish exemption. But in my documents, nowhere did I mention this to them. So the next approach I took was to demand the delegation of authority, in which the agent expressed expressed, "We don't have that to give to you." So I called out to GS Cujo L for advice. Let me tell you something, brother. Cujo is brighter than most think. The brother enlightened me about the importance of my child and Moabites. The understanding of really knowing if I'm gaining or losing real money and more. I took that lesson and pulled away from the matter to focus on the big picture. The next day I felt a bit off because I was so agitated with these ignorant fraud people out. Before I knew it, my Moabitess sent me this. "Babe, just focus on your job. Don't make yourself more uncomfortable. Your co-workers don't know any better. They don't want to deal with the situation more than you don't want to. You carry yourself well. They know you're not an average-minded person, and that's what keeps them thinking in fear of you. You're in control. I love you. I would always be by your side no matter what." So Moors, regardless of how things seem with these de facto ass corporations, always know the greatest reward is knowing your family is there with you, and knowing that nothing is never too late to change. Like a good brother told me, let go, let God. That's a big one. Let go, let God. Peace and love, fam. I self-law and master. Moors, let me not forget, these fools told me if I wanted to terminate the Social Security, I could do so by filling out the attached form. I already knew it was some BS, but I opened it anyways. Guess what? The issue was an IRS form. Now what does the Social Administration Office have to do with taxes? Alright. So, Social Admin didn't send you the form for you to get this stuff. IRS sent you the form. And whatever form it is that they sent, I'm pretty sure it should be in the tax book on RV Bay Publications. And if it's not, you could even call in tonight and bring up the form. I'm pretty sure somebody seen it, knows how to deal with it or whatever. What is the significance of the number 7? And how do we proclaim what is rightfully ours once we declare and proclaim our nationality? So as far as the significance of the number 7, the significance of the number, well, before that, everything that we've been told to, everything that we've been told before coming to this information, we never looked at from the metaphysical or esoteric perspective. There was always the regular, the norm, you know what I mean? Don't go against the grain, whatever. So the reason why things, like when we get into this level of information, more science, more history, you know, astrology, etc. When we get into this information, we have to remember that we're evolving, getting into this information. So the physical realm might not evolve as fast as you're evolving mentally, but there has to be things that happen in the physical to catch up with where you're going mentally, spiritually, etc. Right? So, for example, what is the significance of the number 7? Now, if you just put the significance of number 7, all you're going to get is mundane, whatever. Now, if you put esoteric with 7, right? So, because we can say what it is, but being that 7's a power number, being that 7 is a you know, just like you're saying, there is significance in that number without us even bringing anything metaphysical. Automatically, just that number. There's something about that number that has it resonates, right? on a certain, 11, resonate. Certain numbers just resonate. They have a pitch to them, a harmony to them, or whatever, right? So when you add researching things, but adding metaphysical to it, adding esoteric to it, adding Gnostic to it, adding astrological to it, you get this broader perspective that you're not going to get if you just say the significance of 7, right? So try that with your research. With things like numbers, symbols, words, whatever, metaphysical meaning of whatever. Google that. You know what I mean? Esoteric meaning of whatever, and then use that as your foundation. Use that as what you were trying to find out. Don't use the mundane stuff. After you get to this level, don't just take what the mundane is as what it is. You have to go deeper to catch up. Because we're talking about 100 years that we're supposed to have this info. A majority of us weren't born with it. You know what I mean? So on top of our family's generations, we have to catch up. Which is why the whole thing with studying is so important. And then claiming what is rightfully yours once you declare your nationality. The declaration of your nationality. Okay. Noble Drawley said, I brought you your name, nationality, and title to your vast estate. Your religion, nationality, title to your vast estate. Right? Now, if he brought you the title to your vast estate, there's nothing really to claim. The problem is, just like the Moors were saying in the speeches, there's been people are taking over our stuff. And David Walker said, eye for an eye, tooth for tooth. And then they'll get the point. But it's too late for that now. You're supposed to do that when everybody was on the same plane. You know what I mean? We can't be running up to them today now with bricks and whatever like that. These guys got sound weapons. Like you lose. Right? So we can't go that route. You had our chance for that, and you didn't listen to the elders. Pay them no mind. So since you pay them no mind, all right, that's done. You gotta come with something different, right? So the claim that you're really making is that you're national, and that they don't have jurisdiction. Like, do you really think that all these stores and stuff are closing because some, government, whatever? No, like, Europeans are leaving here. Poor whites are still here. Middle class is hanging on. Everybody else got offshore or whatever. They're not here. It's not where they rest at. Here's a visiting spot to them now. They proclaim who they are and they built their house in Switzerland or whatever. Because, like, all that has to happen is the unconscious people, which include the people who claim that they're conscious, right, coming to the truth that they have a nationality and their birthrights, and claiming it. Trust me, if all of us show up with a nationality card, they're not going to say, no, you can't.